Hey y'all, hey. Can y'all hear me? I felt like I was getting some feedback in my headset. All right, how y'all doing? If y'all new here, y'all know what to do. Like, comment, and subscribe. Share me with your people. If you've been here before, y'all already know what to do. Talk to me in these comments. I hope everybody is having them a good Sunday. I know I am just now waking up. So that's why we had to push the live back because I didn't go right to sleep after I got off this morning. So I am sorry about that. I hope y'all saw I broke the Thursday night messy court, all rise messy court. I broke that up into pieces so you guys can see each individual trial. So go back and watch that if you have not seen that as well. Okay, let me see who we have up in here. All right, my girl Kimmy Nicole, if you still in here, hey, my love, how are you? Hey, Jamie, how are you? Hey, Louisiana chick, how are you? Hey, just simply, how are you? I hope my voice not sounding all raspy and ugly. Hey, Ellen B, how are you? I hope you're doing great, 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 great. I hope you're doing great, 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 great. I hope everybody's having a great day. I hope everybody's been doing good. Let's see, this week we have World of Reads will be on Wednesday. We also have Messy Night Court again on this Thursday. I am going to try to get Potomac out to you guys on tomorrow. And if anything happened where we need to cover some mess, child, we will have messy mornings. Okay. I think I want to do a chat about the whole holla situation because I think people need to realize, that people, when they pass, um, it's not easy. And yeah, we can all say who's supposed to have what and did what, but I mean, child, that's neither here nor there when it happened and either give or don't give. But don't be trying to make it your storyline. Don't be trying to make it for clicks and views for you. And especially if you're a person who been called unscrupulous yourself, you should not be getting up here talking about people being unscrupulous and not doing the right thing, child, because apparently you wasn't. But that's it. That's all I got for that. I'm waiting to see what Potomac gonna give tonight, child. With Mr. Blue Eyes, the picture of him, cause girl, we'll talk about that on Potomac. I will be live tweeting if you all want to join me over there on the Twitter. Okay, the Twitter information is in the description box. Now, with that being said, y'all, this was cute for our first episode. I'ma say Ashley is giving that Monique is gone. So I'm gonna be in charge of the girls, and I don't think that's gonna land for her. How she wanted to land. I don't think that's gonna land for her like that because she comes off as a mean girl. And I mean, if that's what she want to be a mean girl, then we're gonna do it. But this season seemed like it's gonna be a mess. It seems like that's gonna be this season's gonna be a mess. Um, but I enjoyed it for a first episode. It was cool. It had some triggering points in it for me, which is good. It captured my interest for a first episode, especially for a second season first episode. So I thought it was cool. I liked it. There are some people I can already see that I'm not gonna like, and there are some people that I think I'm gonna like. But Ashley ain't one of them. I ain't like her last season, and I ain't gonna like her this season. Yes. Hey, friend. Hey, friend. Yes, Ashley doing too much. She is definitely doing too much for me. So let me go ahead and get it started. So the episode opens up, and I know we normally wait till 10 minutes in, but we're gonna go ahead and get it started with this one. Okay. So the way the episodes open up, it starts showing us everything that happened. Hey, Shirley, how are you? Yes, and she thinks she the star of the show, and she work on my nerve. I'm just saying, she work. I'm letting y'all know right now, if y'all are Ashley stan, baby, Ashley ain't stand, stood, still, nothing. over here. Okay. So it starts off showing us everything that happened last season. It ends up with Carlos asking Monique on the previews of what happened last season if she came on the show to set up her and Chris for the divorce and everything like that. And so then we get the season started or whatever, and we see Ashley talking about how her and Arena was friends and they've been hanging out, but it's not friends with the D, okay? Because she ain't getting no D from her and she ain't getting no D from Jamie. Right off, Ashley, you starting off coming off like the a-hole. You start off coming off like a mean girl. Like, first of all, if that lady think y'all friends and in a friendship and you said that and she didn't know that that's how you felt, you foul and you making it seem like this lady want to be held up on your tight coats, your pulling your coat, and that's not it. Like, if you want to be in charge of the girls, that's not the way to do it. Second of all, if that lady spoke to you in conference about the lack of zik that she is getting up in her marriage, that was not your place to put it out there for us to know. Ain't nothing about that cool. If your friend, whether you put the D on it or no D, if your friend, I don't care how you spell it, come and talk to you in confidence about what's going on in their marriage and about her being unsatisfied or not getting none from her husband, that ain't your place to put it out there for the world. What you say? Well, she said she wanted to come from Monique's spot, but that's not the way to do it. No, it's not the way to do it. Hey, Tracy Chappelle, my favorite troll. I know you got questions, girl. I know you got questions. You always have questions. But that wasn't the way to do it to me. So then everybody's talking about Chris. We see DJ Fun Size, aka Quicksilver, at the radio station, and they are talking to him about the lady for whatever the gossip show is is gonna say, what about Chris and Monique getting a divorce? And he's like, whoa, hold up. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got all of this going on, and they could have told me about that this was gonna be the topic on the show prior to the show starting. And I was like, I understand that. You know what I'm saying? I understand that. Like, he didn't want to discuss it. Like he said, I'm not like y'all. I don't believe in rumors. So until I hear from Chris and Monique themselves that they separating, they getting a divorce, then that's not what I'm gonna do. And let me just tell y'all, Ashley in this damn, I don't know what the hell this sequin nightgown was supposed to be that she had on, but girl, it ain't giving with the damn feathers on the sleeves. Girl, it's giving you trying too hard. It's giving you want us to believe you that girl and you not. It's giving your whole attitude is giving I was the ugly duckling who nobody wanted to hang with when I was young and now I'm on TV and I'ma show all y'all that I'm that girl and you still not that girl. How Rolling Red say, boop, I died and came back and you still not that girl. Purr. And that's just what it is. Hey y'all, hey my people, aka DJ Miniature Pony. So he said he don't agree with that. He not talking about that. He don't listen to what the gossip blog say. I know a lot of people listen to it, but he ain't listening to it. He need confirmation from the source. And I'm like, that's how a friend operates and that's how a friend move. Whether I'm on the show or I'm not on the show, I'm not about to discuss what you got going on in your marriage. And even if we do, yeah, I understand this is my job. But at the end of the day, I'm not about to discuss my friends in a negative light. And I agree with that. He hadn't heard it from the source, so he wasn't going to comment on it. You know what I'm saying? Even Jamie, who I cannot stand, was in his confessional was saying, listen, I ain't seen nothing in their marriage that would make me feel like they were leading to divorce or separation. So I'm not going to speak on that. And I ain't going to do that. And I'm like, yes, indeed. Then we see not Monique, we see Ashley and Arena talking about it, and it was like, well, wait, what's going on? This, that, and the third. And Ashley, once again, being messy, talking about their house in Potomac is big enough for them to be separated in two separate sides of the house, but they decide they want to be separated in two separate sides of Maryland. Girl, however they want to do it, whatever works out for their marriage, like Monique said, they have four homes. So if he wanted to go to the home on the north, the south, the east, or the west, what do they have to do with you? But it just goes to show that you ain't loyal to nobody but yourself, and you want to once again want to take in charge of the girls, and you won't be in charge of the girls. You won't be in charge of the girls. I'm ready for Winter to come back and blow up Ashley's spot. Now, Winter, I like the ice blonde color on you, but girl, that wig you was in this weekend on this picture, Child, it ain't gonna hit. It ain't gonna hit for me. It ain't gonna hit at all. So then Ashley and Iran is also talking about things going on, things being tense between Big Jamie and Lil Jamie, and Ashley makes the comment in a confessional like she don't understand. She had to grow up on her own and she didn't come from a two-parent household, so she don't understand what the issues are between Big Jamie and Lil Jamie. And I'm like, it ain't your place to understand it, and it ain't your place to judge it. It ain't your place to judge it just because a person grows up in a two-parent household and they were spoiled with things don't necessarily mean that everything with them is okay. But we're gonna get into that when we talk about Big Jamie and Lil Jamie because that was very triggering for me, and he worked on my damn nerves the way he was talking to his son with no love and no compassion. That's just it. So then Ashley and Arena was looking at pictures of Jason that he posted on Instagram because they're going to have an artist to come and draw pictures, and they picked the picture of Jason. And I was like, that is going to be so cool. I like the fact that they're doing an artist that is going to do it raised so Jason can touch the painting and feel that it's his self. Okay, I like that fact. So Ashley helps Arena pick out a picture. She's saying she hoped that Monique and them come to the party because she invited them and how he's gonna be going away. So everybody who's near and dear to them is coming. And let me tell y'all something. These people on these shows be killing me with this everybody who near and dear when the fact of the matter is y'all are friends for the show. So I don't even understand why y'all be acting so heartbroken on the show when somebody don't show up. And then Ashley's gonna throw in, so are they coming as Chris and Monique Samuels, or are they coming as Monique Samuels and Chris Samuels? Girl, what does it matter? What does it matter? But you have a problem when somebody want to mention your fun size husband, who apparently is working all the time and feel like y'all shouldn't do a damn thing to support your son. Ashley mad because she don't have full houses too. I wouldn't be surprised. Hey, Mr. 14, how are you? I really don't care for Ashley. Dislike this been the first quarter of the episode about Monique. Exactly. She not on here. So unless Carlos King was gonna address what happened with Monique outside of what Monique said, then why are we talking about it? Why are we talking about it? Because at the end of the day, a lot of the people didn't even like Monique. A lot of people were still dragging Monique on this show. So it's not like using her name was gonna bring people to the show because we already knew she wasn't gonna be on the show. Hey Thick, how are you? Hey Tracy, Big Jamie and I, girl. Okay. So they was talking about that. They did all of that. The next thing you know, we see Ashley, not Ashley. It's your first time coming to a live. Well, thank you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So then we see Joy and Clifton. Now y'all know if y'all follow Ready to Love or Ready to, as Bondy Blue would say, shout out to Bondy Blue. If y'all saw them on Ready to Love, y'all would know that's where they met on Ready to Love. And Joy was very much giving pick me as well as male identified. So I'm not sure exactly what she's going to bring to this show, but from the previews, it seemed like she's gonna be holding her own, and we're gonna get to see her in a different environment outside of trying to find love and basically compete with other women to get the man that she wanted on this show, which was Ready to Love. So I'm trying to go into this with not the same mind state of Joy and Clifton from Ready to Love. Like I'm trying not to transfer it. But so he said that, they're getting rid of furniture. They decided to get a house together. We know that they are now engaged. And it's giving she gave up her career to go be out there in Maryland, DC, DMV area with him. And I'm hoping, like, girl, you just gave up singing in Mexico and not singing, period. Like, I hope you're going to still do your music, sing around some lounges, some bars, or something there. Maybe get you a flight to New York. I heard it ain't that far. Catch you a train, plane, bus, something. Maybe go sing in some of them places because I hope you're not giving up your career. But this man that, yes, you might be engaged to, but you ain't married to. And even if you married to him, girl, you better still keep your career because, baby, marriages and relationships ain't determined to last forever. And when I say they ain't determined to last forever, It happens one of two ways. Either y'all split up or one of the people become deceased. You know what I'm saying? In which you will still have to have a way to take care of yourself either way. So, girl, I hope you ain't gave up your career and your life for this man, okay? For this ready-made family that you have. Mm. Hey, at No Louise in chat. I never cared for Ash's attitude, and I believe that Irena and the kids are emotionally abused. I believe that as well. Was Big Jamie a drill sergeant as a cop because he runs his kids like a boot camp? Girl, I'm trying to tell you. How tall is quick? Was that him at Candace's graduation party on Aura HOP? I think so, but I'm not sure. I think that was him though. I hope she still sings. Please don't just stop doing your career. Exactly. So we see them doing that. He's asking her if she's ready to be, a stepmom, because she's stepping in. He got two boys. And I'm like, girl, this house y'all bought is very nice, but I hope I hope you know what you're doing, Joy. I hope you're not one of those women who meet a man and you give up your all, your everything for said man. I really hope that, child. I really hope that. But they look cute together. I like the they look like listen, they look like they gets it in. I ain't even gonna lie. They look like they have some real fun time up in the bedroom. I can't even lie about that. I can't even lie about that. They look like it goes down. Okay, Clifton is letting us know he working on a beard oil and everything else for him, and he's just trying to get the logo and the packaging and everything correctly. And I'm like, come on, Clifton, you better capitalize off your 5 minutes of fame. It's a whole bunch of men walking around here with beards. You better use this show. By the time this show over, you better have a beard oil that is on the market or on your own personal website that people can buy. Okay, you better have that. So then we see Ashley. She in her closet. She got an assistant. Okay, the assistant look like she moving in. Ashley like, oh no, baby, the only room for stuff up in here is me. Hey, brother, how are you? Hey, Shay P, how are you? Hey, pretty brown eyes. Hey, Nolan chat. I didn't watch, but I'm here for your content. Well, thank you. I appreciate you for the support, love. So they're talking about the son, Ashley and DJ Quicksilver, DJ Miniature Pony. They sitting up there talking about the son who's 15 and him not waking up on time for school. And Quicksilver sits up here and want to talk about, oh no, he's basically grown. He needs to wake himself up for school and this, that, and the third. He needs to learn responsibility because he don't want him to be entitled and then want to start talking about Lil Jamie. See, this is what happens when you down talk your kids to other people. Then they want to try to use your kid as an example, talking about Jamie. Lil Jamie was a bad kid who's entitled. Their kid is a good kid, but but he's spoiled. Let me tell you something. When it comes to spoiling your kids and entitlement, I ain't gonna never tell nobody don't spoil your kids, cause my kids are spoiled. They spoiled. They get everything they want that I can provide for them. Something time they get stuff that they don't want. They don't ask for it. I just pick up and decide, oh, I want to get it. Whether it's their favorite drink and their favorite snack when I'm picking them up to school to down to something big. It don't matter. But we're spoiling them. You have to teach them how to be grateful. You have to teach them. So if you're just giving without teaching, then you are the problem. You can't give with no consequence, no way to teach them responsible, no way to make them feel like if you're not teaching them how to be responsible and how to be appreciative. If you're not teaching your child that, then you are the problem. You can't spoil them and give them everything they want and then say, oh, you 22, I ain't doing shit for you. You can't do that. That's not how that works. That's why when people see 2-year olds cussing and fussing and swinging and hitting at people, you get other people who've been parents that say you want to stop that now. Because if you don't stop it now, you won't be able to stop it later. And that's fact. That's fact. You have to stop certain things in a bud. And what happens is people who come up with nothing and felt like they lacked as a child, when they get up and they got money and they got status, they want to spoil their children. They don't want their children to be wanting and needing like they had. But the thing about it is, that's fine. You can spoil your children and gift them everything that you feel like they wanted them not to have it hard. But guess what? You better still teach them some of the hard lessons. Sometimes you got to still walk in that store and say, no, we don't have no money for that. Are you teaching them how to be responsible? Are you teaching them how to pay bills? See, my kids are spoiled, but guess what, baby? They know if it's times that I have to pay a bill, and I say, hey, go to this website, put the username and the password in. Here's the card. Pay the bill. Let them see what you're paying. So it's okay it to be spoiled, but where the entitlement comes in, the entitlement comes in when you give without them having to be responsible. When you're rewarding the bad behavior, but you don't use nobody child as an example. And at 15, because you had to get it how you live, don't mean nothing. Because guess what? Y'all want to let that child come just sleep. Just let him sleep. And I don't know if somebody's in the chat. Toya, if you still in here, that's my friend, y'all. She stay in the DMV area, okay? If you still in here, tell me, what are y'all truancy rules out there? Because I know out here, you let your child just sleep and don't wake your child up and they miss too many days of school, baby. You're getting letters home from the school and you're going to be sent to truancy. Then y'all gonna be dragged in the media for your child being truant and missing school, and y'all having a truancy case and having to go before the court. Then what? Then y'all gonna be feeling like people wrong for dragging y'all. Ain't nobody wrong for dragging y'all. They need to drag the piss out of y'all. That child is 15. Yeah, okay. You tell them set an alarm and get up, but guess what? If you don't hear them rumbling around in that room getting dressed, you get your ass up and you make sure your child is up and ready for school. And that's on period. That's it. That's all. You know what I'm saying? You and then you want to put everything on Ashley. I understand you working more, which to me lets me know that y'all still having issues and Ashley gonna be huffing and puffing because she been asking you to slow down since last season and you still ain't slowed down. You done picked up even more business. Which your business probably picked up because people are seeing you on the show and you're supposed to capitalize off of it. But let me tell you something. If you not here to help me run this household, then however I run it is how I run it. If I decide I want to wake my child up for school to make sure my child is there to get their education, then that's what I'm going to do. Thank you. Unfortunately, y'all send out letters every week. Thank you. I like that in Florida. You can get arrested if it goes too far, girl. Same thing here. You will go to trial in Texas, baby. The kids today are not as mature as we were when we was coming up. I don't see nothing wrong with waking the child up for school. I don't see nothing wrong with waking the child up for school either. The fact of the matter is, if you are 80s baby, 90s baby, right? You grew up with parents who grew up in the 60s and 70s where those values were still what they were in the home. You wake up, you be responsible, you do this. You know, we were some of us was latchkey kids. You went to school and you walked home from school, you let yourself in the house, you made yourself a snack, you knew to start your homework. We have grown since then in the fact that you have work from home position. So you home with your kids, you fixing the dinner, you fixing the snack, you doing things like that. So you waking your kids up, you coddling your kids. And ain't nothing wrong with spoiling and coddling your kids. I'm not knocking nobody who do it. But at that point in time, if you have not taught him and started teaching him how to set an alarm, you don't just throw a child on that. You don't just throw a child on that, baby. I was a senior in high school. My grandmother was still waking me up when I was at her house. Why do people think that kids of school age want to get up to go to school? That's not logical. Kids are going to do kid things, but once they get up, they know they got to go. We don't want to get up for work. Exactly. Because, baby, I know I will hit snooze, 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 snooze about 30 times. My mom woke me up for school up and through high school. When I went to college, I was able to wake up on my own. As I got older, I learned these things. I am very responsible now. Listen, let me tell y'all something. True story. True story. Before my aunts retired and things like that, and my grandmother knew my work schedule. I was living in Houston. The rest of my family lived in New Orleans. When I tell y'all, my grandmother knew all of our wake up times, and we were grown. And we were grown. That was her thing that she did. We knew how to set our alarms and get up. And we did that. But guess what? She was like our second alarm. Wake up because she's gonna give you that first call at the time she know you're supposed to be up. And then guess what she gonna do? She gonna call you back to make sure you up. And we were grown. We were grown. And nothing wrong with that. Nothing is wrong with that. That's called parenting. And I am so sick of people who feel like once your child hit teenage years that you shouldn't have to parent. That's when you should parent even more so. See, people think, oh, when they're younger, you have to parent. Yeah, that's why you put it in them. So when they become teenagers, you can see what you taught them about how to make friends, how to make wise choices, how to make decisions. That's when you're seeing it in practice so you can correct what they didn't get, right? Or you can say, oh, you didn't get that lesson, or hey, this is something that we haven't come across yet, and you walk them through it. That's when you have to parent even harder. Because after the teenage years, they gone off, whether they get a trade and go get them an apartment or they go away to college. The teenage years is your last chance to make sure that they got everything together. So if you feel like, oh, because they're teenager, I can take my foot off the brake, you are sadly mistaken, and you setting them up for doom. Meanwhile, still spoiling them. Now that's just my opinion on how I see things and how I feel about it, right? So the next thing we see them setting up for uh Jason's party, y'all. Jason is looks like a baby L. Be sure to me they wasn't lying when they said that. And I love me some Jason, baby. Jason walked up in the party, turned up, baby. He had his little walking stick and he had it in the air. I was like, yes, come on, Jason. I was so glad that Jason going to the Doors Academy. Hope I'm saying it right. I was so glad about that. I was so glad that Big Jamie got his head up out his arse because last season he didn't want him to go. Last season he didn't want him to go. So we see Joy and Clifton coming up party. Arena is saying how they were friends and how Ashley and Joy are friends, and so they all been hanging and chilling together. And I'm like, huh, baby, that's still Joy. Feel like still Arena. Ashley feel like she gotta get y'all together and son y'all. So then we see Big Jamie, Irena, and Irena's Mama T, talking about the text message that Lil Jamie had sent and talked about Lil Jamie. See, Jamie, this is why your son have a problem with you. Now, I ain't saying you don't go talk to grandmothers, because sometimes grandmothers get, you know what I'm saying? They can help the child see a better way because the grandparents typically have a close relationship with the grandchildren. They can talk to them, but then they also can help. If they're a good grandparent and they have the wisdom and the knowledge, they can help the parents see things a certain way. So I ain't saying no, you don't talk to the grandmother about it, but I'm gonna tell you like this: this party wasn't the place for it, where you have people who can overhear. And therefore, people begin to look at your child a certain way. Then, when people get to judging your child, then you be around here wanting to nuck if you buck when you done set the fire to everything. There are certain places to talk about things, and this party was not one of them. The sister come in and they talking to the sister, and she was like, "You seen that text message, right?" And she's like, "Yes, I've seen the text message. Lil Jamie is entitled. He is spoiled. However, Big Jamie's delivery is off." And I 100% agree with her. I understand what Big Jamie was saying to Little Jamie, but it's the delivery, it's the non-compassion. And to me, it seemed like Big Jamie is one of them parents where you either do it my way or I'm gonna provide for you as a parent, but I don't love you. I don't think I don't like you. And you have to understand that when your kids get grown, you can give them advice, you can lead them to the water, but you can't make them drink it. You give them love, you give them advice, you give them support. But ultimately, when that kid is grown, they're going to make the decision. Now, once they make that decision, it's up to you if you want to still be there for them if the decision fails, or if you want to support them if the decision does well. But talking about them to everybody at a party ain't it. Ain't it? That's embarrassing. Embarrassing your child is sure enough not the way to give it. And Big Jamie seems like he is not the compassionate parent. He does not seem emotionally aware. He does not seem to have emotional intelligence. He lacks it, in my opinion. Let me see what y'all talking about in these comments. It's balance at 14 years. You want them to be responsible enough to do it for themselves, but you are there to make sure it gets done. Correct. I said, Marlon, my mama still knock on my bedroom door to make sure I was getting up. Okay. Thank you. I hit snooze 18 times. Child, my snooze. We ain't even gonna talk about the school. The kids staying home with their parents was the worst thing that ever could happen, child. However, who going to wake them up when they go off to college? Well, no, that's the point. That's why you start setting it for them to wake up now. And the fact of the matter is, if you know you don't, if you going to college, like I would tell my children, I know you like to sleep late, so you don't want to get an 8 o'clock in the morning class. That's why you advise them. I know you like to sleep late, so you don't want to get an 8 o'clock in the morning class if you don't have to. Start your classes around 12, 1, 2. You may go late in the evening, but you'll make sure you up. And I still be that mama calling and ringing on phones while you, hey, you up for class? Because guess who's going to have the schedule? Me. But this is why you start teaching them now how to set the alarms and how to do it. There are times where I get up for work at 4 o'clock in the morning and I call myself trying to stay up and I fall asleep. And you know what happens? My kids wake me up and say, Mama, we ready. It's time to go. Now, do they wake up every morning? No, it's some mornings that they don't hit the alarm. But guess what? When they don't hear it, that's what I'm here for. But you start teaching them. That way, by the time they do get to college, guess what? They're going to have it. But if you don't teach them and prepare them for it, then what? Shoot, I call my son to this day and he's in college. I'm trying to tell you. Exactly. We were grown and we don't want to get up for work. So he's just talking to hear himself talk. Exactly. A teenager is prime time for parents to be there. That is the exploration and finding themselves before adulthood. You have to be there at that time. Exactly. At 55 years living in my own house with my kids, my mom still wakes me up and my daughter up every morning at work, and she lives in Louisiana. Girl, I'm trying to say you. If I call my grandmother right now, which I wouldn't do, you know what I'm saying? But if I call my grandmother right now at 94 years old, she will set her alarm and make sure I'm woke. But I don't do it. Caring and being concerned about your child is not spoiling them. It's called unconditional love. Girl, huh? Say it louder for the people in the back. Pretty brown eyes. What was going on that little Jamie was stealing when he was 15 years old? Something wasn't all good in that household. Your father a cop, but you out here stealing. And that's what I'm saying. It does not seem like he has the intelligence for that. But let's go on and say it about this party because this is where it really triggered for me. So we at the party. Joy is saying how she got called to a speaking engagement for single mothers and being ready to love. So she was going to be on the ready to love speech. Before she could even get her whole part out about what she was going to be speaking about, just about women and being ready to love. Here comes Ashley with her whole mean girl self talking about, well, they know you don't have no children, right? Well, why would you accept the speaking engagement when you know that for single moms when you're not a single mom? Let me tell you something. That's like telling a person, "Oh, you don't have no children, so you can't tell me nothing about how to be a parent." People can draw off experiences. Just because you haven't went through something personally does not mean that you don't have knowledge. That's like saying because somebody's a bum on the street, you can't learn from them. You can learn from everything. You can learn from everybody. Deb, don't you start up in my comments. Don't you start up in my comments talking about your niece needs her beauty rest. But you didn't even give her a chance to explain what her segment was going to be about before you decided that you wanted to cut her off about it. Like you wanted to check her. And then whoever the other lady is going to do with the head tilt, I'm feeling like I'm not about to like her either. You know what I'm saying? But then after she decides that she want to check Joy and shut Joy moment down, and I was much like a Raina, like, why are we discussing this? Why are we going on and on about this? You want to talk about your podcast coming back? Oh, okay, so somebody else was getting some shine, so you wanted to step in and get some shine. I hate people like that. That really disturbs my soul. Like if somebody wants to talk about themselves, you don't have to down what they're doing to make yourself look better or to get the attention on you. If y'all supposed to be a friend group, if y'all supposed to be a friend group and your friend said, "Oh, I have 2 candy bars," you don't need to come back and say, "Oh, I have 5 candy bars. Oh, look at me and what I'm doing." Be wary of people like that because they jealous, they envious, and they ain't your friend. And you can still deal with them if you want to, but deal with them accordingly. And that's all I'm gonna say. Deal with them type of people accordingly. And that's just how I feel about that. But I was with Arena. Why are we still talking about this? Right? So then they move on and they start or they pull the artist and he has Jason blow whatever it is off the painting and he gets to touch it and feel it. I thought that was very awesome. The painter painted it while they were at the party or whatever. And then they all start giving speeches about Jason as far as the mama and the dad. They giving speeches and they crying. And I'm like, why is she crying? Like, this is I mean, well, let me say, I ain't gonna say why is she crying because I cry for everything. I cried the whole way to school dropping my baby off for her first day of high school. So I get it. I get being emotional about it. But it's like he's coming back, and he needed to go and see how he how to live and how to function. At the end of the day, he needs to go to a school where they can teach him as a blind person how to cook for himself, how to do different things. Um and things like that. And I think that is very great for him to go to that. That's a good experience. And he wants to get out. He wants to be from up under y'all. And it gives me y'all coddled him and y'all feel like he needs to be up under y'all 24/7 because he's a blind. But there are plenty of blind people. Look at Stevie Wonder. Look at Ray Charles. There are plenty of blind people who make their life in the world and make their mark in the world and do wonderful things. Stop stifling him. Stop stifling him. But once again, back to Jamie, he didn't even want him to do what he wanted to do. This boy want to work for Apple and be in tech, and you want him to be a DJ. For what? That ain't what he want to do. That's what you want him to do. And when your child gets older, they don't have to live for you. They have to live for themselves because they'll spend their whole life miserable based on pleasing you and making you happy. And oh, you won't support them. Oh, you won't love them if they don't do exactly what you want to do. So meanwhile, you happy and you proud of them because they doing exactly what you want them to do. However, they miserable on the inside. That is bondage. I'm here to tell all y'all parents of adult children who treat your adult children like that. That is mental bondage to say, oh, I'ma love you, but long as you live like this, I'ma support you long as you do like this. If you make a decision for you that makes you happy and your life happy and where you see yourself going, if I'm not in agreement with it, then I don't support you and I'm gonna be mad at you. That is mental bondage because you're playing on the fact that your child is not gonna want you to be upset with them. Your child is gonna want to please you. And if you got to keep your children in bondage, I'm here to tell you today, you are not a good parent. And when your child don't want to talk to you, when the conversations get short, when your child doesn't want to be bothered, they don't want to come around, they seem distant, and then you want to put it on them. No, it's not them. It is not disrespectful for your adult child to tell you something about their life that they will or won't accept or something that they don't want you to do. That is not disrespectful. Now, can they say it in a disrespectful manner? Yes. But me just simply expressing what I want for my life because it's not what you want, and then you turn around and say you don't listen to me. The person, an adult child, don't have to listen to you. They're an adult. They can make the decisions on their own. So I'm gonna need y'all to know that. Okay. So then we see little Jamie give his brother a speech and he proud of him and he say he not like everybody else. He glad he going out there and you know follow up and fly, spread his wings and do what he need to do for himself. It ain't sad for him. It ain't a pity party for him. And yes, like my good sis say, like the video. Hey Megan, good evening. How are you? She sound like a miss to me, always trying to one up someone. Yes, it gives me Mia. It gives me Mia vibes. Especially if she brought Joy on this show and she, you know what I'm saying, trying to sun her for the crew. That gives me Mia vibes if they were supposed to be friends. Um, Parents have to let their children choose what they want out of life because you can't live through your children. Exactly. So then, like little Jamie gives a speech, he say he's proud of his little brother and things like that. But big Jamie is like, oh, little Jamie is here. We're gonna celebrate Jason, but we gonna talk about this conversation tonight. This party wasn't the time. Like if we celebrating Jason, let's celebrating Jason, but you mad because your adult son said something to you. Okay, yay. If you felt like it was disrespectful and he said, I don't never ask y'all for nothing, this, that, and the third, then All right, fine. You felt how you felt about it. You took it as disrespect. You wanted to discuss it. You could have discussed it before that party. You could have discussed it after that party, not during that party. No God. So then you pulls him out on the balcony where everybody can see y'all going back and forth because it's open, it's glass windows. So once again, you want to embarrass him. You want to make him look like he's the bad guy. So then he's talking to him like, "Say, man, I ain't hear from you. Everybody was nobody in the family, you didn't get the job." And I'm like, you told him it was a for sure job. You told him it was a for sure job. Then the people check his background, and that wasn't what it was. You know what I'm saying? You should have. Why you didn't talk to them people and let them know your son had a background? Like you've been a cop all of these years, you can't find. If you want to help your child do something, you can't find something that'll for sure help him work with his record. Did you give him the guidance on how to find a job? Like Shirley said earlier, why was he stealing at such a young age? You a cop. And granted, listen, you can have people who do everything right by their kids, teach them how to be responsible, teach them, and they're gonna do what they want to do. So I can't put the blame on them, but it's definitely giving me he was wanting attention, right? Because you got the oldest who's a daughter, so she the only girl, she gonna get attention, and then you have Jason who's the baby, and then he was blind. It gives me that Lil Jamie, definitely went through middle child syndrome of not being seen. You know what I'm saying? Of not being seen. That's what it gives me. It gives me that he wasn't seen and he's doing things to get his parents' attention. He's doing things to get love and affection. Like you crying and all of this behind Lil Jamie, but when behind Jason, but when Lil Jamie's sitting there crying because he was hurt, you sitting up there worrying about don't embarrass you and don't play with you in front of these people. You didn't care that he was hurt. You not caring to get to the root of the issue with you and your son. You just want him to do what you want him to do. So they get to talking about it, and he's like, you a 26-year-old man, you ain't nothing. And I was like, not you calling your child ain't nothing. And he's like, I give you $100 every week. Well, first of all, why are you giving him $100 every week? And if that's for his probation, then that's for his probation. If you know he have this ticket and he's paying his probation officer, if he don't pay a ticket, he'll go to jail, which will do what? Revoke his probation. So granted, you wasn't driving his car. He shouldn't have been speeding. He should have been going the speed limit, but you know what it is. You know what it is, but if you want him to be responsible, then he needs to be responsible. You need to be telling him, son, get out there and go to labor ready, go to the temp agencies, go to this, go to that, go to that. Not giving him $100 every week to put in his pocket for whatever reason, whether it's for the probation officer or it's just for him to have some walk around money in his pocket. That's $400 a month that you are giving him. And Lil Jamie, if your daddy is giving you $100 every week, baby, why you don't have no money to pay this ticket? What are you doing? But then again, you live with your girlfriend. You like, what are you teaching him? It makes me feel like he missed something because why do he feel comfortable going live up on his girlfriend with no job, no nothing? Meanwhile, she's paying the bills. Something is lacking and something is missing from your teaching of him on how to be a man. It gives you spoiled him, you gave him, you and Arena just gave him, and you didn't teach him on how to be a man. Now here you are saying, if you do it my way, if you do it my way, that's not the way that you need to talk to him. But you didn't read the room. You don't know your son. That's what it's giving. You don't know your son. You know he's your son, but you don't know your son because you don't know how to relate to him. You don't know how to talk to him, how to get through to him. Then you're gonna talk about he said, well, my girlfriend do hold me down. She makes sure I eat every day, da 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 da. Which why are we even talking about the girlfriend? You mad because he said this my girlfriend come around and you throwing $100 in his face that he don't ask you for, that you voluntarily give to him. I understand that why that would upset him. I didn't ask you for that, but then you talking about I fed you for 30 years. How you fed him for 30 years and he only 26? You just saying things out of anger. You not saying things to resolve the situation. And like you said, man, I'm at my brother birthday party. My brother going away party. Like I can't even come here. I can't even come here and celebrate without you doing this. But I think this baby needs some counseling because something is definitely going on with him.
Right, you can't say it's for sure and he gets denied. I agree. Why didn't he talk to them about his background so he won't get denied? Big Jamie can't take the fact that his young son doesn't respect him, but he made sure that he made sh- he what? But he made sure that long time ago. Little Jamie has been rebelling for a long time. You can see he's been rebelling for a long time, but why? Why are your kids rebelling against you? For what? He didn't teach him, he gave him, and that's the problem. You gave him. You can't create a monster and then say, I'm sick of the monster. You created that problem. I think little Jamie may have a substance abuse problem. Big Jamie is embarrassed by his namesake. I think he is definitely embarrassed of him. I'm not sure about the substance abuse. Um, I'm not sure what is going on with little Jamie, but you can definitely look at him and tell that he's troubled. But instead of his daddy seeing that he's troubled, he just want to go on what looks good for him. Hey sis, how are you, my love? You can definitely see that. Okay, you can definitely see that he's trouble. But at this party, screaming and hollering at him is not what to do. You know what I'm saying? Which one, Big Jamie or Little Jamie? You know, like the way you handle people. You don't even have a patience for your wife. You get an attitude with your wife on everything. So it gives me very much everybody in that household had to do what you say and walk. He gives the when he come home, you have to walk on pins and needles to make sure you don't make him upset, to make sure you don't anger him so you don't have to deal with his mouth. All of them move that way. All of them move like that. Like those kids are coddled because the whole family seems to have coddled him. And when I say they seem to have coddled Big Jamie, what I mean by that is you don't want to buck the system. You don't want to act like you disagree. You just go along to get along so you don't have to deal with him. And the fact of the matter is when kids grow up like that, a resentment starts to develop for the parent. When they feel like they can't talk to you, they can't come to you because every little thing is going to turn into a situation like this. So they develop a resentment. And when they get old enough to start doing things just to piss, they'll start doing things just to piss you off. And I think that's where we at here. But I want little Jamie to get some help. And it kills me how neither one of the parents see that their child need help. And I don't know if Arena doesn't see it or if she sees it and she just don't put her foot down and say nothing because she don't want to upset Big Jamie. But it's given he was talking to his son, not like a son, but like he was a probation officer, like he was, you know what I'm saying? Like he was something else. And so then little Jamie walks off and Big Jamie proceeds to go back into the party and talk to Quicksilver about him talking about it was best he had get out my face so you was gonna knuck if you buck with your son. But thing about it is your son is grown, y'all got issues and have resentment. So if he would have knucked and bucked back with you, then what? It Raina looking like what's going on. You see little Jamie walking out. You trying to figure out what's going on, but you should have told Big Jamie at the time when even if you didn't see him pull him when y'all was out there, you just should have said, "Hey, this part is about Jason, and this ain't the place. We're not gonna do this." You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna do this here. Y'all can have a talk after everybody's gone. That's fine. We're not gonna do this here. But what Big Jamie do? He instantly goes in the party and starts talking to Quicksilver about his son, somebody who was just saying, dragging your child and saying, "Oh, I don't want my child to be like that." Or I don't want my child to be like that. But this is what you do. You dragging him. That don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? That makes absolutely no sense at all. So then you see Arena come over. She's like, "What is it? It's our fault, like always. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it." As a mother, it would kill me not to have a conversation with my child. I would need to know what's going on with my child. And I'm sorry, I don't listen. Daddy can be mad all he want to be mad, and he can be mad with me. But when it comes down to my children, I'ma get down to the problem, the root of it. And mentally, something is going on within your child, and y'all not taking it for it. So the producer comes and tells Big Jamie, "Hey, you need to come outside and get Lil Jamie." Lil Jamie is literally sitting on the floor crying, and the producer lady, "Ma'am, You ain't Dr. Francis. Get up out his face. Y'all should have just let him leave. But no, y'all wanted to save y'all production. Y'all wanted to have a moment. Calling Big Jamie out there. If this was a, oh, we care about the moment, calling Big Jamie out there was the thing to do when Big Jamie was the one who already upset him, telling him, y'all share the last name, the same name. So what if they share the same name? They don't share the same love, they don't share the same bond. And you can't tell me that child don't know that he's a big disappointment to his daddy. Because Big Jamie shows that to him. And instead of Big Jamie coming outside and saying, eat granny, he was mad, he was aggravated. But the first thing that came out his mouth was, get up, stop playing with me in front of these people. You was worried about these people and not your child sitting on the ground crying. That's my problem. That's my problem. I don't care what nobody thinking, what nobody feeling. If I see my child crying, man, we about to deal with this. We about to deal with this. But guess what? All of this is a moment that's gonna take place at a moment that was something for Jason. All because who caused this moment? Big Jamie. Because this was not the place, this was not the event to do it. This was not the moment to have that conversation. And that's how the episode ends. And we see the preview for the season, baby. Joy looked like she gonna stand on her own. She looked like she gonna have a problem with Ashley. Ashley looked like she gonna get into it with Arena. Listen, it looked like season 2 about to be a hit, y'all. It looked like season 2. Come on, Carlos King. I feel like you did something with DC this season. Last season it was a little boring. We bringing Winter back. I hope Winter come back and be the one that's in charge of the girls. Okay. I want Winter to be in charge of the girls. I do not like Ashley. I do not like Ashley Silver. I do not like Ashley Silver. I do not like her. She gives pretentious. She gives mean girl. She gives one of them people who was left behind when they was younger, and now she got to figure it out, and she want to be Miss It. I can't stand it. I'm glad Winter gets under her skin, and I hope Winter gets under her skin again this season. Jamie gives off violent energy. Yes, he does. Let me go back and see a ninja on the street. Exactly. That's how he was treating his son. Like when he walked up on him, like he was about to fight him. Like for what? What you about to fight your son for? Although Big Jamie was in the house, it doesn't look like he was present. Irena seems to be the one that raised him and spoiled him. Exactly, but the thing, and that's why people don't understand when somebody say, "I can be in the home but still be a single parent." Like if you the only one that's dealing and willing with the kids, you basically have a man in the house that's paying child support, and that's it. Jamie gives off violent energy. I believe so. I believe so. He gives that he will snap, and that leads to, that's why I feel like there's a resentment in the son. The son saw how he treated the mom, how he treated them. Him not being there, him not being present. And it seems to me that he was rebelling to get attention, and then it turned into resentment because when he have moments with his mama, like the daddy say, ain't no, you didn't get the job and ain't nobody heard from you. And he was like, uh-huh. So he was still talking to his mama. He was still talking to his sister. He was still talking to his brother. It was his daddy. There is something inherently dysfunctional in that relationship. And Big Jamie don't give me the type that's gonna work on the vibes. And he damn sure don't give me the type that he seems disgusted. He seems like he does not like his son that's named after him, and he seemed like he is a disappointment to him, and he shows it. And he shows it, and then he wonder why there's a resentment. Now, little Jamie, you 26, baby. You living with a woman. Get your ass up and find a job. If you can't get the help from your daddy and your mama, everywhere there are agencies. Okay, there are agencies that help people that have a background. Find you one and get you a little job. Do something with yourself. I don't know if Carlos King paying you to appear on this show or what, but you on probation. Get you a therapist. Get you a therapist to help you work through your inner anger issues and get you a good little job. Go find a program to help you get a trade, whether it be driving trucks, whatever. Welding. Welders make some good money. Find you some type of trade, baby, that you can do something with yourself and live your life productively. And at the end of the day, if you and your daddy can't work it out, and I hate to say this, but I mean it from the bottom of my heart, and I tell my children, it is okay to cut off toxic relationships. If you get older and you feel like, even me, if our relationship is toxic, cut it off. Do not have to live in a toxic relationship, somebody making you feel bad about yourself, somebody not appreciating you, somebody showing ultimate disdain for you. If y'all can't work it out, then you love them from a complete distance. Call your daddy every now and then, or pass the message via your mama that you okay, but you move on and you walk in happiness, because I don't care what nobody say, that baby need counseling and something is going on there. Something is deep inside going going on there, because and I don't understand. Like, granted, Jason is going away, he's coming back, but you can cry, you can have all the love and emotional support for Jason, but when you see your other son sitting on here on the ground crying, your immediate thought is, stop playing with me. Don't stop playing with me for these people, meaning you embarrassed that these people see that your son is crying and hurt behind an argument that y'all had, that you caused, because this wasn't, again, the time and the place for it. And I know some people feel like, oh, well, whenever it's on my mind and I see you, that's what it is. But no, there are some things that are, there is not the time and there's not the place. And when you do that in front of people and you put people on a defensive, then they're not, listen, I'm on a defense because you're trying to embarrass me. You're trying to make me look a certain way to people. And at the end of the day, nothing is going to get resolved, and resentment is only going to grow deeper. He was present, but it was his way or no way at all. That's what it gives. If anything, they should have called for his mom. That's, thank you, because Arena, when him and Arena have conversations, she talks to him and she says she can say the same exact thing which we saw last season about him being responsible. She can say the same thing that Big Jamie said, but she says it with love. She doesn't say it with disdain, and that makes a big difference. Why is Winter wearing this ugly wig in all the promo shoots? I like the color. I just want her to comb the wig. You like Joy and Ashley? I like Joy. I can't stand Ashley. I hope this story blows LAMH out of the water. Well, the people got to come to it. It has the potential to, from what I've seen on this season. It has the, oh, well, what I saw coming up. It has the potential to with this cast. Um, but they got to get the people watching and talking about it. So y'all go talk about it so the people can watch it. Ashley has mommy issues. Ashley has unlikable issues, but she definitely has mommy issues, and she needs to go sit with her therapist too and work it out so she can get her personality. Irena looks like she's still in transition. Okay, but oh, oh, I think she pretty. What you mean? Oh, I can't take y'all. This is what I know, not what I think. Lil Jamie talks to everyone but his dad. They don't like each other. I can see that. It's very obvious. At some point, you have to wash your hands with people and just do you. Lil Jamie has settled into this victim mode, and he knows it triggers his dad. But is he really settling into a victim mode? I agree with you there, because at the end of the day, it ain't nobody's responsibility to pay your ticket but you. He has to start being responsible for him. But is it really a victim mode, or is he? I don't want to say a victim mode. I want to say he has a resentment for his daddy. So whether his daddy is gonna tell him, whether he's telling him right or wrong, he it ain't gonna be right for him. His dad is not the person to motivate him. And I think that's sad when your parent can't be the person to motivate you. I think it's sad when the relationship is so toxic between a parent and a child that even when that parent has to be stern, that the child can't receive it. It makes me I just need more. I just feel like what we getting from Jamie and Arena as well as little Jamie ain't the root of the problem. I don't think it's just about things. I think it's about attention. I think it's about wanting emotional support that is not there. That's just my personal opinion. I don't know, but I need to see more, because something ain't sitting right in my spirit about this. He don't want a job. He has a lot of people that will give him great jobs. He wants to be a little fake street dude. He needs to realize he's a man and not a little boy anymore, but he's still getting ish from mom. Woo, okay. See, look, the people in DC know more than I do. Like I said, I could be proven to be wrong. This is only the second season of second season, episode 1. But the episode, like I said, it seems good. I wish my brother would go watch it. But I think us talking about LAMH has turned him off for the from the whole series. But this is go watch it, bro. This is a whole different, that's like judging Potomac and Atlanta or New Jersey and Beverly Hills. Different franchise, same show, different franchise. Go try it out. Big Jamie is a hole, definitely. I love the color of winter wigs, but the cut is terrible. I like the color on her. I think the color looked really good, but child, that up close to that wig, I saw look chewed up. Lil Jamie loves his mom with all of him. That's part of the reason he didn't get along with his dad, the way he treated his mom. See, I knew it was some resentment there. It was something to cause something had to happen because little boys typically, from what I see, um, unless something happens, they typically want to be like their dad unless they see something in their dad that ain't right. And if he saw his daddy treating his mama bad, then child, that could cause resentment and that could cause him to feel like, how can you say anything to me when you were this way? Just my opinion. Don't Like I said, I don't know. I would like to get deeper into it so we can get an understanding, but at the same time, if it's gonna trigger some things that don't need to be triggered, child, let's just go ahead and leave it alone and not even show that. I love the color as well. That's a shame. That's a shame. It go shake. Oh, a shake and go. 45 pieces a mess. Yeah, I didn't like that wig. I did not like that wig. He knows he can go to his mom, grandmother, and girlfriend and play on their sympathy. I think because he got in so much trouble and his dad was a cop, that may have caused his dad some embarrassment. Big Jamie definitely gives embarrassed embarrassed by his son vibes. Big Jamie pulls him back into that child's place and has been coddled all his life. That boy hadn't been taught how to be a man. It doesn't give me that. I'll watch the back of my eyelids. I'll try your show if you tell me to try your show. That's so wrong. Winter Wig looks like she's been through it like Wanda from Holiday Heart. Oh, not Holiday Heart. I love the color. Oh, I read that one already. Lil Jamie wants to be grown but not accept grown responsibilities. Now that I agree with. He definitely needs to be grown. He definitely, if you listen, don't come to me and say you want to be a woman or you want to be a man, because baby, I'm gonna let you be it. And once you relinquish me of my duties, let me tell you what I'm gonna do. Step all the way back, but I'll let you swim, but I'm not gonna let you drown. And that's it. That's all. And with that being said, y'all, this look like this is going to be an interesting episode. I'm going to get ready for work in Potomac. If you want to live tweet with me for Potomac, follow me on over to Twitter. The Twitter link is in the description box. Okay. And with that being said, I love y'all and I will see y'all later. Bye.